Let me get Skrrt in here. Cool. Have a seat.
Here, can I shake your hand, sir?
You can definitely shake my hand.
Yes.
And I'm happy
Legend.
to shake yours as well.
How's it going?
I'm good. Let me pull you up here in my little two-shot.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out here.
Of course.
I didn't realize I had such a backlog building up here in the room of like folks that were hanging out to join me, which it's been fun having you. I've been enjoying everyone hanging out here, but
it's legendary, man.
But I mean, it's nice to know that you stuck around to get in the chair with me here.
Got
so,
to.
Yeah.
Got to.
Where are you now? Are you? Am I remembering or am I misremembering?
Okay.
You're Texas based?
No, I'm here.
You are here.
Yeah, I'm
Were you
from
Texas?
Georgia, but
okay.
I moved here like almost 8 years ago, just pursuing everything.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Let's actually. I'm starting on step
Yes.
4 here. Let's have you introduce yourself to the folks watching, because normally I'd be throwing up like name caption graphics and stuff like that. But we have to do this manually. Take care, man.
Yeah.
Are you taking off? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, let the folks know.
Hello.
Yeah.
I am Young Skrrt. I stream every day on Twitch, making music on Reason. Most days. I game a little bit too.
Okay.
But I'm releasing a song every week this year. I'm already pretty deep on that. I produce, I do vocals, I play guitar, drums, piano, or keys.
Yeah.
I guess you could say everything, but I play on my computer keyboard, which, with Reason, F4, good old F4.
Is that right? Yeah, good old F4.
But just pretty much doing everything and
What is you said you've been out here 8 years?
Yeah, about in May I think it'll be 8.
Was there an event that got you out here? Like, did you have some little moment of like, oh shit, like that got a little traction?
Yeah.
I'm getting out there and I'm gonna build on that, or did you come out here to find that little moment of traction?
I mean, so I've been kind of pursuing music seriously. Like I was in a band in like starting like 2006, and I did that for like 5-6 years, like grindcore stuff, like crazy.
Okay.
Hadn't started producing yet, and then I started on FL a little bit, and then my friend kind of like pulled up Reason and left me with it for 2 hours, and that that's the kicker right there. That's when I started, and I was in Atlanta doing stuff, producing, DJing, and like kind of doing a festival here or there, and then like in Atlanta, I feel like back then at least there was like kind of a ceiling, like everybody was working kind of like in the studio, in the dungeon, like just getting stuff done.
Yeah.
But there was really a ceiling of how high you could take it. And LA, everyone's here.
Yeah.
I smoke, so that helps. But like, I've always just wanted to be in California for some reason, and when I moved out here, it just felt right. So like, I kind of lived in like student housing with a friend for a couple months, and then lived in a house for 5 years, and I'm in a different house now, and I've just been like treating it like a home studio, having a bunch of people come in and work, and like streaming for the past 4 or 5 years, making music.
What is that like? How does that impact the music you make? Because I speak from some amount of experience of streaming and making music, and what I know from that is that 2 things. One, it can be a good little pressure. You got to make something because people are watching. But then there's another factor, which is what I've had to learn as a skill, I guess, and you probably have learned it faster and better than I have, is how to not let the audience watching get in your head.
Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's a whole process for sure. But like, I realized quickly that the pressure that the audience puts on you to make music helps you make your best stuff.
Okay.
Like whenever, like last night I was streaming and Anthony Fantano rated me with 900 people.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, oh, now I gotta like make something really good. But I ended up turning the auto-tune and being like, say something in chat. I'll just say it in the freestyle auto-tune thing and just kind of like mess around. I got like a TC Helicon that like lets me do auto-tune at the same time. Sure. And like the pressure really helps, but it's a hurdle to jump over, to be like, there are people watching me.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, like, and
sometimes things have to sound bad before they can sound good.
Exactly.
And in your own world, you know that, and you have the confidence and the faith in what you're doing. But like, I've had the moment where I'm working on something. If I were alone, I know it sounds bad. I know it's going to get good, but suddenly can't get past the fact that they don't know that. They just think I'm making the worst bass line of all time.
Yeah.
But they don't realize, no, but I'm gonna render it to audio, and then I'm gonna chop it, and then I'm gonna Rex that chop, and then I'm gonna distort that, and then I'm gonna that's gonna become the sample from which whatever.
Exactly.
Like they don't know. They just hear what's happening right now, and then that gets in my head. So that I don't know.
And I think that's part of it too, is exposing that it's a process to people. And not being like, it's just magic. I press a button and everything's good.
Right.
It's just like, you got to see it from the beginning. And a lot of times I'll record a vocal. Like recording vocals is the hardest part, because a lot of people worry about being judged. Or, oh, you're not hitting that note. You're not singing that well enough. You're not hitting that flow right.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I'll record a vocal and I'll be like, that's going to sound really cool when I put the chain on it.
Yeah.
But wait on it. Just give it a second. They're if anybody's talking down, I'll just be like, yo, I'm not done. I'm still working. Give me a second.
Right. And I think that's the skill that you learn is how to keep them at bay, how to keep them out of your head. I've seen Protostar is another guy I've watched on Twitch a lot with doing some reason streams and stuff. And he's got a good sense of that too, where it's he can just laugh off the whatever's coming in on the chat, he can sort of just you wait, and have know what he's doing.
And it's cool to have the built skill, because streaming also just really rest in peace to Akira Toriyama, put me in the hyperbolic time chamber, like Dragon Ball Z, where it's you're streaming, you're doing something, you're showing people how to make the music, you're making the music, you're ending up you're giving yourself a period of time where it's I'm going to be making music here.
Right.
I'm going to be working and just making everything right. And I think I started doing music streaming August 2019.
Okay.
So now that it's almost 5 years.
Okay.
I feel so confident in my ability that it's if anybody has anything to say, I'm just hey, you just don't know about my 26 hours of music online right now. So,
yes. Right.
That's on you. Just figure out where you are a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. But that is, I love that. I love that the confidence that has to come from it. You have to be so sure of yourself. And you're in a very sort of modern version of, you go back to I think about bands that were getting in a van and touring, and the idea that you was we're going to go play during the day it's a Chinese restaurant and we're going to go play to 3 people. But you have that sort of confidence in what you're doing. You're on a path and you know what you're doing. And so you've got that same sort of confidence that comes from the years of doing this that you know.
It's funny you say that, because I did have a show when I was in a band where we played at a bar in Alabama and drove 2-3 hours away in Georgia.
Yeah.
And then went to start playing, and we played crazy technical grindcore when I was in that band.
Uh-huh.
And they literally were like, hey, can you stop? Football's on. We'll still pay you. And I'm just damn. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. you know, but yeah, you just gotta eat a lot before you really get confident in your craft. And if you just put hours into anything, doesn't matter what it is, put the time in. You're gonna suck at first. You're gonna be bad, and then sooner or later you won't.
Moments like that, though, it's when you tell that story, it sounds to me like that fueled you. It didn't.
A little bit, yeah.
For
sure.
I knew a band that they used to have a. This is going back into the 80s, where they were a punk band in the 80s or early 90s maybe. But they used, in their bathroom, they started putting up, they called it the wall of rejection. Every rejection letter they got from every label and every manager and whatever thing, they'd get back thing, thanks, no thanks, this sucks, whatever it was, and they just put it up there, and so when they went in to use the bathroom, they could just sit there and be like, all right, you're going to see, we're going to do this. So,
wrong,
right. Exactly. Exactly. It's you are all wrong, and there's no data here that is going to change my own faith in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And when now I can't help. This is where I know that I've been live streaming now for 3 hours and 40 minutes. But the editor in me has been, every time I talk to different people, I start stringing together the commonalities in the narrative. And one of the things that reminds the faith, the confidence you have in what you're doing, reminds me of this other thing that we've been talking with other people like Robert about so much of production, and particularly anything that's within, I'm going to call it pop, but we're in that sort of the commercial sphere, we're not in the niche experimental subgenres. You have to be so ahead of the curve. Yeah. And to be ahead of the curve requires confidence. You if
take a risk.
You have to take a risk because you're literally trying to put yourself ahead of what the now is. And if you play that conservative, there's no conservative move that's going to put you ahead of the curve. Any conservative move is going to, at best, put you on the bleeding edge of the here and now, which is too late. It's over.
Yeah. Indeed.
And for you, when you're doing this stuff on a stream, that's a weird sort of. You're in the hither. You're showing people the future in real time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're trying to get ahead of the curve, but you're doing it literally in real time on a stream.
And possibly showing some of these pop people the curve. I've had pop producers hit me up like, "Hey, love the stream," and I'm like, "Okay, invite me to the studio then."
Oh, right. Yeah, right.
You know, like, why are you just watching my stream and learning from me a little bit and then walking away? You know.
I've been remiss. I've been throwing up some. I've been throwing up some comments here. You're getting a lot of love on the comments here.
Yeah, I was posting the link before.
Shout out Matthias Soccer says shout out Young Skrrt, greatest of all time. There's I don't need here. Oh my God, Skrrt. You know, a few other people here.
I'm the biggest recent user. I'll say it. Not biggest, most popular, but
Skrrtskribers. We out here. It says Jedi B.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I just made 3 beats with subscribers before I came here. By the way, I did it in an hour. I speed ran it. Usually it's like 3-4.
I've seen references to the speed run. That's because you just did that.
I was like, I gotta go to the Reason party. I'm gonna do this. I usually do it in like 3-4 hours, but I was just like. I don't know if you've heard of Marbles on Stream, but
no.
It's like a game where the chat can enter by typing !play and they get a 3D marble. They go down an obstacle course and then there's a winner.
Okay.
And I'm usually like, the winner sends me loops on my Discord and then I'll make a beat out of it. And I do it 3 times. And if we pass a sub goal, I'll do a 4th and then a 5th, depending on if we pass the subscribers goal for the night. I do it every Saturday. This was 202, week 202.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm coming up on 4 years of doing it. And then it's going to land on 420, by the way. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, okay.
But, today I was like, okay, we're
you
doing...
didn't plan that?
No, I found it, and I was like, that's incredible.
That's wild.
But today I was like, we're doing 1 race. The top 3 will send me loops, and then I just made each beat in like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, okay, got to go.
Wow, wow.
Just to make sure that I get a stream in, because I stream every day at 8 p.m. Pacific now.
That consistency thing I've heard is like really key.
It's everything.
It's everything. Huh?
If you fall off your schedule at all, like half your viewers will show up next time. It's so tough.
That is wild. Guys, Chris is a YouTuber, content creator. You got the same thing, right? It's like getting stuff out. Yeah, I see you nodding your head in the background.
Especially with YouTube, you got to post on the days that you post, right? Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah, that's
because people will just be like, "Oh, you stopped? I'm gone." Yeah, and it's just like, oh man.
God, that part of that, because come on, guys.
Yeah.
These guys are working hard. Don't make it that fickle. Like give them a day off. Jesus.
No, yeah. But it's good. It keeps me working. Like last year, I think I clocked 1,030 musics, and when I say musics, most of them are beats. A lot of them are songs I do vocals on.
Okay.
A lot of them are like 32-bar melodies with like 4 or 6 Reason presets.
Right.
I usually just click rant. I let the chat pick my presets. You want to hear the craziest thing?
Bold. Yeah.
So, you know how it's 1 through 13, the regular Reason sound bank folders, right?
Yeah.
Like bass, lead, all that stuff.
Right.
I say, give me a number between 2 and 13 and a letter. And then I go into the folder and I go to the letter they chose me and just drag in random stuff and just make my beats out of that some days.
I mean, why not? You know, it's like
it's the best. Reason presets are the best. I try to tell everybody. They'll be like, stop using Reason. I'll be like, no, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'll use it in front of them and they'll be like, oh wow, okay.
Right.
Like
that is, you know, I will forever be fascinated by the mindset of these, you know, the doll wars or the whatever, you know, the you know, that we all have this. I think what it really says is that the tools that work for us that we love, we're evangelical about, and so that's a good thing. But it is weird that we spend all our I'm generalizing because I don't really do this, but that we're around people so often that are always trying to like turn us to or walk away from what's working for us or turn us to their thing or whatever. You know, it's a weird mindset that is somewhat unique to music. I don't think. My hunch is that out on golf courses, people aren't like, you got to get rid of those shoes. Like these, my cleats are the ones.
You got the wrong 3-wood.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like maybe that's not. Maybe maybe it is. Who knows?
And I just tell people, I'm like, use the DAW that is most comfortable to you.
Right.
Whatever helps you get from your brain to the sound fastest. Now, if you want the best synths and presets and
Yeah.
VSTs in the world,
Yeah.
get Rack Extension. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, right,
I try to tell everybody, but like, you know, it's just like if Ableton works better for you, that's cool. If Fruity Loops works better, and Bang harder, whatever.
Well, and this is for me as someone who interacts with a lot of the Reason community and the music community in general. This is the thing I love about the Reason Rack plugin is that made that conversation really easy for me. Because in the past, you know, like.
I said extension, sorry.
The conversation is always like, you know, hey, like our features in the Reason DAW are so great, you should walk away from the DAW that you've been in for 10 years and like, you know, probably depend on your income for, you know, it's like, that's a hard conversation to have. But to be able to say like, what you're doing in FL, keep doing that. But you should
use
check
these
out,
synths.
Check these out. Yeah.
Effects,
like, see what
all
they'll do
that.
for
Like
you, you know?
I use Neptune. Like I'm Young Skrrt is a vocal project. When I started it at the beginning of 2019, I started to do vocals.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, and like I started in Reason 5 also, and no audio support yet.
Yeah, yeah.
I was putting vocal tracks from people I was working with in Kong, 4 bars at a time. Just launch a 4-bar vocal part and chop them up and put it in Kong. But then like as soon as like Neptune popped up and like I got a crazy vocal chain that makes no sense. Like I think I showed Alex Toomey a picture of it on Twitter, and he was like, dude, you got to chill out. Like my Spectrum EQ is just like the highs as cranked up and as left as possible.
Yeah.
And like the mids cut out and like the lows drop down, the filters, and then I like crank the compressor input gain and output gain all the way up to plus 11.8 as high as it can go. But the threshold at like negative 30, like just doing freaky stuff.
Sounds
but
good.
It worked, yeah.
Sounds good. That's like, you know, end of the day, that's really what it is.
Exactly.
Young Skrrt, I hate to be so.
No, I understand. You have so many legends in the building.
I know, and I've got 15 minutes remaining.
Okay.
And then I got a hard out.
Understood.
So I wanna get my next and final guest probably on. So I want to thank you for hanging out with us.
Of course.
I speak for all of us who are stoked, you know, to have you. I hope people have been hanging out and talking with you and stuff. And
I got to meet some of the Reason staff and gang. So like
That's
I'm
awesome.
happy to. And pull up on my Twitch, twitch.tv/YoungSkrrt at 8 p.m. Pacific every night. I'll probably play video games tomorrow, but I do music most nights and stream my music. I'm dropping a song at least every single week.
Look at that. Consistency.
Every single week.
Consistency. Showing up for the work.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh.
So happy to be
here. It's been
here.
a blast. It's been awesome.
Get Reason.